The date is the 10th of April 2025. Tottenham Hotspur have just drawn 1-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Doom and gloom is what it looks like. Polls on the internet, statistics from pundits, and big, or should I say massive, companies dealing with sports and football are claiming Tottenham Hotspur have no hope. Every single fan believes Tottenham Hotspur will lose against Eintracht Frankfurt in the away leg on the 17th of April. Tottenham Hotspur fans, the majority of them, believe this is the end. This is it. The Europa League finishes here. Our campaign ends in defeat in Germany next week. Ange Postecoglou will be sacked next Thursday on the 17th of April. Come the 17th of April, Tottenham Hotspur put in a fantastic team performance, showing fight, showing desire to do something for the club, to progress into the semi-finals of a European competition, keeping a clean sheet, allowing Frankfurt just one shot on target throughout the 90 minutes. A professional performance, losing the vice-captain James Maddison in the first half. Tottenham Hotspur have defied the odds. Tottenham Hotspur have defied the opinions of their own fans, of the public. Tottenham Hotspur are in the semi-finals and find out they will be playing Bodo Glimt. What if I told you a year from there, it is not doom and gloom in this relegation battle and Tottenham Hotspur still have the firepower, the recipe to survive in the Premier League? It sounds absolutely disgusting. I am speaking about us surviving in the Premier League. But that's the case. And many Spurs fans, many pundits, statistics are all hinting in one direction. The same direction of the Eintracht Frankfurt quarterfinals. Tottenham Hotspur have been written off. It's game over. This year, it makes much more sense to write us off, definitely. There is absolutely nothing to get behind. But what if there is? And in this video on the Spurs Pursuit with me, Martin Frank, I will give you 3 reasons Tottenham Hotspur will turn this boat around. So let's get right into it. So, not only is it extremely difficult to improve performance, mentality, and leadership within a few days, let alone a few weeks, it is also highly challenging for the coach in charge to remain in his own position due to the league table and spiralling disconnect between fans, players, and the board due to performances and due to circumstances surrounding the club. However, let's remain positive in this video. Every problem has a solution. And although this one feels impossible looking on the outside, looking deeper, it's impossible to retain any confidence within the fan base. There are some positives Spurs must build on and hold on to going into the last 2-3 months in this season. So let's start off with number 1, and that is treating this Atletico Madrid draw as a trial and error. As bad as it sounds, treating it as a trial and error. Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow face Atletico Madrid in the Champions League on Tuesday. The last time we travelled to this stadium, we had suffered the worst defeat in a cup final. It was a Champions League Cup final in 2019 where Tottenham Hotspur lost 2-0. It was by far the most traumatising and devastating defeat. However, this one, if we lose there tomorrow, it means nothing to the fans. No one believes we can go on to do a miracle like we did in the Europa League. So now use this You must use this in your advantage as a Spurs coach, as Spurs players. You must use this as a trial and error, as a sense of regaining confidence, as a sense of showing patterns of play, showing pride, showing something that the fans can get onto in the Premier League. That is the priority. And although many Spurs fans were absolutely delighted to be back in the competition and were relatively impressed with finishing in the top four, although our fixtures did benefit us drastically. Currently, most fans want exit from this competition as soon as possible to remain focused on the Premier League, with just 9 games remaining there. And with such low expectation and desire to win, it is the ideal opportunity to experiment, both as coach and as players, to get your team playing with a sense of freedom, to recreate upcoming games in an artificial manner, to try and find a winning formula. Because this is what Tottenham need right now, a winning formula. This is the only way Tottenham Hotspur can exit a relegation fight. And you will not find a winning formula technically by winning straight away. You will find a winning formula by building on certain foundations. So tomorrow is the ideal opportunity to show that. And by doing so, certain players can be played in certain positions freely without any extreme criticism, unless one thing happens, and that is if Atletico Madrid swipe the floor with us. Right now, Igor Tudor can opt for academy products tomorrow because he hinted he has certain players he believes he wants to remain on this boat that is trying to get to safety, to the nearest shore possible. Right now, tomorrow, is his opportunity to risk, to try something new. Potentially go away from this 5 at the back gimmick. Potentially try it now comfortably with Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven and Kevin Danso fit. And if I believe Radu Dragusin was only not available against Crystal Palace because of his head injury against Fulham, so he should be back and available. Right now you have this opportunity to try it. Solve that left wing back issue. Solve your front line problems. These 2 games against Atletico Madrid, both away and at home, can be decisive to finding the foundations to build a winning formula. Number 2, and that is building around the leaders. And maybe in hindsight, Christian Romero's and Mickey van der Ven's red cards could mean a change in performance, a more disciplinary action to be taken on the field by these 2 players, which are captain and vice captain. Maybe these red cards, the fact that they both self-sabotaged a minimum of 2 games of football because Christian Romero was serving a 4-game suspension, meaning he absolutely messed up 5 games. Maybe now they realise they have extra responsibility to take, and maybe they can try and turn this situation around. During Tuesday's Madrid trip, this option will be at disposal. Finally, after 6 games, we will see these 2 play together once again. Whenever these 2 play together, Tottenham Hotspur, since they have joined, have a 17.5% better win rate with the 2 in the team than with the 2 out the team, or just with one of them in the team. 17.5%. That is massive. That is almost winning 2 extra games in every 10. And although Spurs have only picked up possible 4 in 33 points, it doesn't really make too much sense, but maybe now they can go from 0 to hero. And this is what we need. And to build this leadership, to build the sense of we are not fragile, we are able to fight. We are destined to fight. We will do everything to turn this situation we have caused. Take responsibility on yourself. We have caused this. Now we must turn it around. This is the ideal opportunity for the 2 who have made absolutely horrific mistakes. So apart from them, who else needs to step up? The likes of Pedro Porro, The likes of Conor Gallagher, Richarlison, Dominic Solanke. Not only do you need leaders at the back, you need leaders in every single position of the field. And Conor Gallagher has the most experience out of all players right now at disposal in the middle. He needs to take that responsibility on himself, because right now he is running around the field like a headless chicken, doing absolutely nothing from the foundation. Yes, he is being played out of position. However, where is the leadership to show? Where is it to take on, okay, I have less experienced players around me. Let me take them under my shoulder. Let me take them and let me add belief into them. You must do that. Dominic Solanke, Richarlison up top. Score the goals. Do something. There is a lack of cohesion, but there is a lack of leadership in all fronts of the field. That needs to change immediately. If that can change, if the younger, less experienced players who maybe do not have this ability, because right now all we have seen is Archie Gray and Matisse Till do so. Two players who have not reached the age of 20 yet. We have big issues. And if this can be turned around, if the senior players can step up, maybe we can be able to win games of football. Maybe we can build foundations. Maybe we can become harder to beat. Maybe we can rely on this individual brilliance, on these moments. But you need leaders to do that. You can't rely on Archie Gray or Matisse Till to get you out of a relegation fight. So potentially, with Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero sabotaging our games in recent weeks, maybe now they have had a good look in the mirror and seen, I take responsibility. I can change the situation. Because that is what Tottenham Hotspur need right now. And number 3, injured players to save the boat. Igor Tudor has repeatedly hinted that he needs players back. And he believes that these players will add the quality. And he has certain players he believes must remain on the boat with him to take us to safety, to take us to the nearest shore. So, Jed Spence will be returning from injury. And although that doesn't sound extremely exciting, it is. Because it is another player coming back. We are not having anyone being out for a long period of time now, adding to the list of medical issues into the medical department, into the medical room. Players that will be back until the end of the season and will be part of these 9 games still to play are Mohamed Kudus, Dejan Kulusevski, Destiny Udogie, Lucas Bergvall, and potentially for the final 3, Rodrigo Bentancur. With just these amount of games remaining, we still have this individual quality ahead of Leeds United, of Nottingham Forest, of West Ham United to get us out of safety. And although this is just speculation, given such big names and boosts could definitely solve a lot of problems, Spurs are desperate to rely on moments right now of brilliance and luck. Right now it's too late to overcomplicate things, to overcomplicate tactics and formations. Right now we have to be strong mentally and rely on individual quality. That is the way to get out of this situation. And let me add just 2 bonus points. And the first one being, Tottenham Hotspur must rely on circumstances that could happen. West Ham could suffer 3 losses in a row and their mentality breaks. Nottingham Forest could happen to them. It could happen to Leeds. Key injuries could happen elsewhere. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur are fighting a massive injury crisis right now, the 2nd one in a row. I've made an article on it. You can check that out on the Spurs Pursuit.online. But what if that happens in this crucial period for other teams? What if their mentality breaks? It's completely possible. It's completely viable. And the last point to get us out of this big mess is potentially changing manager. I have made a video on that. You can check it out on my channel. Will Igor Tudor be sacked this week? There is a massive possibility. If he loses tomorrow and doesn't try something new, we don't see anything to hold on to. And if we see a same loss like that against Liverpool on the weekend at Anfield, We could well and truly be sat here next week in 7 days' time with a different manager on our hands. A manager who knows the club from inside out. A manager with the names such as Glenn Hoddle, Tim Sherwood, Harry Redknapp, Ryan Mason. Sean Dyche is available. He's not maybe familiar with the inside structure of the club, but he's definitely available with the knowledge of being in this situation on a repeated basis and being able to be successful. Is Igor Tudor not the answer? That is possibly also the case. And although Tottenham Hotspur last season managed to win the Europa League with Ange Postecoglou, we saw that the players were behind him on every occasion. I don't think we can say that about Igor Tudor right now. He hasn't had the desired effect. And maybe that is the last point that we can be offered. Maybe that is the last point we can hold on to. So the solutions may be unclear right now. It may look like a fuzzy mess. It may look like a fog in front of us. It may look like doom and gloom. But the objective is actually simple in itself. Spurs must find stability, leadership, and most importantly, of course, results. These three things must arrive immediately. And if Tottenham are able to even rediscover a fraction of the resilience that once defined us as a club, whether that was the Europa League campaign or Pochettino era, survival is still within reach. It is still in our hands. If not, this could be one of the most destructing chapters of the club's modern history. This would be the best team on paper to go down in the history of the Premier League. So the next few weeks will not just decide Igor Tudor's future. They may define Tottenham Hotspur's. Let me know in the comments if you agree with these 5 points to get us to safety. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Be tuned because a video on the predicted lineup against Atletico Madrid will be coming out today. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate this support. Every like, every subscribe is very much appreciated. Thank you so much for sticking around. And tomorrow we face a fantastic opportunity to turn the situation around. See you later.